All right, good morning all. It's Sunday for me, and I'm gonna dig into my cabinet array here. So we have a 24-foot long cabinet array or setup. I've got 36, 18, 60 mirrored. So 36-inch wide drawer, 18-inch wide drawer, 60, a 60, an 18, and a 36. And then I have the 48-inch closets or what they call R2V cabinets from Rousseau on the left and right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the left side and I'm going to work my way around and we'll see how long this takes. But I wanted to share with you everything that's in my garage. While we go through this, I'll probably talk through the things I think I'm missing, things that I'd like to find or acquire, and hopefully find this useful as you're kind of constructing your own garage. I've been at this for a long time, and this is, I think, garage number, let's see, we had the Lady Lake, so the Lake Ella house, then the Woodgate house with without the garage, but with the wash bay. And then I had the, let's see, we sold the Woodgate house thinking we were moving to the lake. We didn't move to the lake, so we went to Harbor Hills. And then from Harbor Hills was the silver Sabre with the limestone backsplash and like gray hose reels and stuff. Then I went to Darlington, which was the white Lista cabinets. And then here in Middleton. So this is the 5th house garage. And then at HQ, I had Oak Street 1, Oak Street 2, Yarn Building, and now we have the 4th garage. I guess you could say 4th and 5th garage in the entryway at HQ, and then the new studio at HQ. So there's 10 garages, and I've gone through this process of doing the organization. I've got to do the organization on the new studio in the back of HQ starting this week as the cabinet array is finished. So I spent a lot of time going through this in my life and organizing, reorganizing, and in some cases the Woodgate to Harbor Hills to Darlington to here was like 1 year, 2 years, and now I'm here. So I've made lots of changes very quickly, and so I actually really enjoy this process. This one took the longest to set up, and so I've actually eliminated a lot of things, narrowed it down quite dramatically from what I've had in the past, and now I've got, I think, a pretty good ecosystem of what should be in my drawers. I got a lot of empty drawers, and I don't have too much to fill based on what I think I want. Because what you're going to see here is not a need. Most of this is a want. Some small needs, but there's a lot of excess, a lot of extra, a lot of unnecessary. It's that unnecessary is partly due to two variables in the equation here. One is this is what I do for a living, and then two, I'm obsessed. So you can use that for however you'd like. All right, so let's start in the upper left-hand corner here and work our way around. And so this is where I keep all my detailing stuff, right? And it makes logical sense in that I wash and everything on this side of the garage. My spray bottles are there, and so this is where I keep all my refills, polishes, and all that kind of stuff. So Stoners, Terminator. I have a few too many. I like to keep a couple of these here. But Stoners is what I use to prep tires for tire dressing. And I like to have 2, sometimes 3. I'm not sure I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think a few of these are almost empty. Yeah, but I have extra here, and we'll kind of work through it. But I have the extra space, so I'm okay with having that many. But normally I'd only have 2. Then I have a Koshikemi Ulex, which is a sledgehammer adhesive remover. Be careful with this. And then an old Meguiar's product called M39. I have half a bottle of Wise Guy. I'll probably grab another bottle. I dilute it 50-50. And I have a pretty full bottle mixed up over there. And so I only buy this by the 16 ounce because I don't go through it too quickly. And then I have a few in here. You'll see some products that I'm testing and some products that I'm using. I like to keep this organized. Over the years, I mean, I've thrown away or given away, usually give it away, so much stuff. It's incredible. I don't want to keep stuff that I'm not using or I don't have an intention to try to use, and then when I do use it, just get rid of it. I mean, I would have this entire cabinet array filled 10 times over if I didn't manage this. I like to, because I get tons of products to play with, tons of stuff to test out. I turn away more products than I get, and the process of elimination is to use my process. If I'm not using my process or I'm not actively looking for something to improve the process, then it doesn't stay here. So I have Angel Wax S Exodus and H2 Go, which I'm testing out. Actually, I need to bring some Wolfs here. I ran out, so I need to grab a container of Wolfs. I am using Armor Pro coating, Armor Wheel coating. I'm testing out Ammo Glass coating. I always have some XO and CSL, and I almost always have a bottle Ultra. And then with coatings, you just kind of like, this has been, if I used a third of this on whatever last car I did, I think the Tesla, and I don't have any floaties in there, so it's still good. Usually, I'll use the whole bottle. Occasionally, it might sit long in between details, but I just kind of keep an eye on the coatings. I have a brand new bottle of Armor Pro, which I plan on putting on the Bronco. And then I have a half-used bottle, 3/4 used bottle. Then I have a little bit extra there. I have interior cleaner, odor remover, and total remover from Geon that I want to play with. And then I have Obsessed Garage Essence, the leather and pine leather scent. And then I have here all the Leader Max steering wheel cleaning kit. I just throw away the box, but I have hybrid number 7 top coat. I have 6.1 repair, and then I actually have number 3 Leader Soft. So these are the things that kind of come with the steering wheel kit. Leader Soft doesn't, but I don't think we're going to bring Leader Soft. It's not really necessary for modern leather. And then I keep a 1 liter of number 1, number 1.1, and number 2 conditioner. These are still the German versions. I didn't bring we have the US versions. This is in stock now. And so if you do want to get some, you could order that. And we should be in stock for the foreseeable future. And then number 2 conditioner, number 1.1, and 1.0 cleaners in the smaller 200 milliliter versions or 250 milliliter versions. And then I have Sonex Alcantara cleaner, 1 bottle that is sufficient. Did I mention M39 is discontinued? But I use this for cleaning trim and like plastic trim. This you can't get anymore, it's discontinued. So that's cabinet number 1, or drawer number 1, I guess you could call it, vertical drawer. Vertical drawer number 2, I've got Reveal. I should probably put this in a press-all, so this will come out here. I'll put this in a press-all soon. I'll put that on my list. I have some Defender from P&S that I want to test out. The old tried and true Power Lock Colonite and some applicator pads. Always stays in my cabinet. Dr. Beasley's Metal Coat Solution Finish. These are 2 Art to Shine products that I want to play with. The engine dressing and tire dressing. And then I have some Naziol stuff. Their Universal Cleaner, which is a pre-treat for coating. I've got their Detailer's Shine for trim and tires. And then I have their water spot remover, which is great. I keep the polishes that I keep on hand to what I use. I used to keep tons and tons and tons of polish. And I probably will have more polishes at HQ because I'll be doing more polishing there. But I have 3 polishes. So it goes, I should probably switch spots here. So we go from most aggressive to least. So I always have 2 bottles of Griot's Fast Correcting Cream. I don't like to do a gallon of Griot's Correcting Cream because I don't use it enough I don't want a gallon to go bad. So we have a bottle of just lubricant for my Rupes LHR 15 polisher. So I have that. Metallic Cut for doing metal polishing, either hand or machine. I've got Review, which is glass polish from Built Hamber, which I'd highly recommend. My sledgehammer, my favorite sledgehammer, which I don't use often, but if I need it, DA Coarse from Rupes. I've got fast correcting cream from Greer's Garage, which is my all-purpose, compound, and then my finisher is Zonix Perfect Finish. And at my home garage, these are the three that I can get any result with those three, and so I keep it down to a minimum and keep it nice and organized. Try to keep the amount of products down to a usable minimum, and it makes my head, my brain, and it makes my psyche feel better having not too much stuff laying around. You're going to see that theme as we go through the cabinets. So I have to pull out the back here because of the way that I have this. But I have drying aid refill with the Griot's spout on it. Decon soap is here. Tire dressing, which I don't recommend you have a gallon. Just get a 32 ounce. Griot's interior cleaner and brake buster. Sometimes I'll have 2 gallons of brake buster, but I have a fresh gallon here. I just finished a gallon, which freed up some space on my shelf above. I probably shouldn't have this, but I've got a gallon of McKee's and then a 32 ounce of McKee's. It's not really necessary. I also wouldn't recommend buying a gallon of this unless you're doing, a lot of waterless washing. And I have a bottle of Hero that I'm still kind of playing with. I have a bottle of Dark Side that I've been playing with as well. And then I have my Built Hammer Staples, Atomac, and Curacao. And then I have Auto Wheel, which I kind of want to play with a little bit more, their wheel cleaner, which is available at Detail Image. But you can get Atomac, Curacao from me, and then Detail Image has Auto Wheel up on their site. I got some GFX, Hyper Dressing Diluted, 4-to-1. And then up top here, I always keep 2 250 milliliter AccuPores. I don't know why I do 4, but I have 4 funnels, threaded funnels. I've got a thing of P21S, and then I still have this, but this is like the my paint thickness gauge, my DeFalsco's. This is like the standards. I don't need this. I'm never gonna freaking use this thing. So next drawer, I'm waiting on some parts, so I need this drawer, and these are gonna be replaced because they were damaged shipping. So this cabinet here, I'm waiting on the top. So I wanna put another shelf in here. I'm gonna check on the status of that. But I have GSF, touchless, I need to bring some more traceless. I think we're out of 5 liters. And Surfex HD, which is my all-purpose cleaner. Tarex, whatchamacallit, Reset, Eraser, and then I have some Decon soaps I'm testing and some car wash soaps I'm testing from Armor. So I've got those testers here. This cabinet is where I keep my Ego. So I keep Ego, an extra battery, the stubby. I keep my traceless, another bottle of traceless here. So I have a bottle of traceless in the press halls, and I have another bottle of traceless I like to keep on hand. I have 2 solo sprayers. I only like to keep 2. Oh, I need to charge these. I need to go find something to plug these in. But iron remover in 1, so Curacao in 1, and the other I have McKee's. And then I've got a brush I'm testing out from Detail Factory, an interior brush, a race glaze brush I use this brush for mineral spirits for cleaning tires, and then the 2 tire dressing applicators. So you can see having capacity, having room, and then I have my Sorden Supreme Pro X are my current favorite ear protection for using the Ego. Since we're talking Ego, let's knock out this cabinet here. So the upper cabinet's open like so. So here I have I've got a couple of, so if I have some space, I think I'd rather keep these here. Let's keep those here. So I just moved the foam cannon extras to there, like that. And then we'll keep all of our batteries up in position here. I should have one more battery. So I'm working on some foamer making a foamer out of my undercarriage cleaner. So I kind of tore apart this Griot's, and there's a part I'm missing I need to bring. So we'll keep these here. I do like that. And then this will be reserved for batteries up top. So I just moved my tape up top here. Kind of like this spot for it. And then in this cabinet here, I moved my Griot's. These are the extra foam cannon liquid holders. And then I've got a Griot's foam cannon here where I've kind of torn it apart. I'm looking to make a quick disconnected foamer for my undercarriage cleaner. We'll see if that works. And then I'll reserve this cabinet here just for my 2 chargers. So I have power in this cabinet, and then I'll keep my Ego batteries up here stowed and ready for use. So I've got 2 of the, I forget which version of charger this is, but I think it's the rapid charger. I turn them on their side, and I have them plugged in, and so I can just store my batteries here. And that's kind of a lot of real estate for that, but I don't use that, all that. I don't need the space, because if you look here, I keep my camera stuff here, so that's where this camera that we're shooting on stays. That's where my vlogging camera stays. I don't have power in here. I have a power station in the house with all my batteries and stuff in one of the cabinets. And so I keep extra lens, extra camera, charger for this camera, for my vlogging camera, and I usually keep a memory card or 2, so that's what's in that. Keep it nice and organized. All right, let's go back to the lowers. All right, top drawer, my high pile drying towel, low pile drying towel. I don't like this thing, so that can go. I've got an extra lambskin mitt. I've got my bug cleaning sponges, which I don't need very often. And then extra bonnets for my glass cleaner, tucked in the corner here. It fits nicely. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deli pads. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Incredipad XLs, which I probably don't need that many. I have I have 20 high pile or low pile towels and 12 high pile. And then I have too many, but I like to generally have 12 wheel towels. I have too many of them. So actually I should take a stack of these out of here to HQ, because I don't need that many of these towels. It frees up a little bit of space for what I'm not sure. But that's this drawer. Next drawer here. So I have, how do I want to do this? I guess I can leave it this way. So I have 20 of my polished towel, the high pile, and then the lower pile is underneath that. I've got 20 of those. So I got 20 interior towels, 20 glass cleaning towels, and 40 all-purpose beater towels. And then I like to, and I have to replenish this often because I throw these towels away after every use, but I have a high pile and low pile coating removal towels. And I usually keep 20 of each of those, but right now I probably only have 10 of each. These are used pads that I'll need to sell, so that's my used pad spot. I have 4 of the larger drying towels over here on the edge. And then I have a knee pad from Gion, which I really like. So I have this tucked over in the corner here. I'll use that when I'm messing around in the interior. All right, bottom drawer. You can see this. So bottom drawer, I keep my 5-inch pads, and I only do 5-inch, 3-inch, 1-inch, 2-inch, 2-inch, 1-inch. So I've got, I like to keep a dozen, and I may have a little bit more than that on some of these, but yellow Rupes pads, white pads, so for ultra finishing, which I rarely use. Yellow, white, and I have a couple extra whites, and blue of the Rupes microfiber cutting pads. I've got coarse wool and then medium wool from Rupes. I've got an Armor entry-level foam cannon to test out. I've got some Gion Bathe in here that I want to kind of play with again. I have 4 extra press-all bottles, 2 of our Bryce's entry-level bottles, which I think we're going to try to develop this year. And then I have the 4 scan grip lights, which I probably shouldn't have because I very rarely use them, especially with the good lighting in here. And then I keep my Ego extension wand or whatever blower thingy for doing the driveway. Okay, so that was cabinet number 1. So let's go into the 36-inch wide drawer. So this is my top utility all-purpose drawer. And so I like to have a bunch of different little, whatever you call these things, little bins. So like I've been disassembling and playing with a broken new press-all from Traceless. I had taped something, so I threw some tape in here the other day. I've got some nozzles that I'm testing out. I keep my knives in here. I've got some screws that I need to screw the front of the cabinet array countertop down because it's shrunk a little bit, from the expansion contraction. I've got my cycling glasses, so a couple pair of Oakleys, a translucent or a color transitioning, and then a tinted. I keep an Obsessed Garage little notebook here in case I ever need to write anything down. I've got various size nozzles because I'm always playing with different pressure washers. So I have, I think, 4.0, 4.5, 5, 5.5. So I keep those here. My Tesla key, the key to the Bronco, and the key to the TRD Sequoia in here because those are the 3 cars that stay here. So I keep that in place. These nozzles are freaking sweet. So this is an aeration nozzle. So you put a aerator size nozzle, and then we put this little quick disconnect device on, and then this siphons additional air and turns your pressure washer into a much more effective machine. So I keep these here because I've been playing with that. We're going to launch those on the site here soon. I got a couple extra key rings, and then I've got a 6.5 nozzle that came with that AR635 that's sitting on the countertop. I like having a lot of markers, so I have blue, red, green, paint markers, finer point markers, black. I need to get some new black, I think. My pens, this is my favorite pen, a Uniball Signo DX .38, and you get these from jetpens.com. It's a Japanese pen, really awesome. I have a lot more zip ties, but I keep the 2 quick grab zip ties. I have a little extra bin here. I've got some, so this is loose, but because I've still been doing organizing, so I keep a bunch of screws, so for the tool grid stuff. So obviously I have room to put stuff if I ever needed to. I probably never will, but I like this drawer. This is my all-purpose drawer. This is a drawer I come to, most often. And it's staying in the theme of keeping all my stuff, all my polishing and car washing, car cleaning stuff. So all my polishing stuff here next to my other car washing, and this is going to change. So I'm going to have to, luckily this stuff is modular, so this is going to change. I guess I'm going to change it here like the next day or 2. But this is where I keep my Nano. The new Nano is, I'll do a single Nano instead of duals because now it has a quick change, quick release. But I had short neck, long neck in dual action, random orbit, short neck, long neck in rotary mode, and that's why I have 4 of these. So that'll go down to 1. I keep my LE here. So this is the LE 4500, A4500 cordless. I keep my Rupes LHR 15 Mark V. I have my pneumatic, and actually this can go in the drawer here with the other one. So I keep my air delivered LHR 15, my beloved Mirka. I've got some of the, foam cannon rebuild kit. I have 2 foam cannon rebuild kits here, which I never need, but I have it nonetheless. I have the metering tips in the 3 different sizes, so I bought 10 packs, which I'll probably never need here. I've got the extra batteries, so I guess I have the 8 batteries for the Rupes, which is largely unnecessary. Oh, these guys, actually, I can get rid of. I got rid of this thing. I take that back. No, these work. That's right. These are for the APS tool for the Nanos. So I wonder if the APS tool will work on the new Nano. Extra backing plate. This extra backing plate is no longer necessary. I don't remember what that's for. Extra tools for for the Nanos, and then extra heads, sanding heads, rotary heads, DA heads for the Nanos as well. And so then on the right here, I've got Rupes claw tool. I've got the Kamikaze door props, the short and long version. I keep the battery or the charging thingy for the scan grip lights that you saw in the other cabinet. This is a Milwaukee adapter, so I can use my Milwaukee adapters on the scan grip lights. 2 Mirka 5 amp hour batteries, 2 LE 3 amp hour batteries, and I should probably swap out to the better batteries because they now have newer, more functional ones as well. Next drawer, wrapping up our polishing equipment. Obviously, I should mention that tool grid is what's organizing all this stuff. So wrapping up detailing and polishing. This drawer, I've got Leader Max sponges. So I got 2 of each size and style. I got a couple of applicator sponges sitting here and a couple of sponges I'm kind of playing with. These won't stay here. Those will get used and get tossed. My Defelsco Positector, and so this is the Positector DFT, just a quick one that does ferrous metals, and then the fancy one with the gel that does with the 200 series probe. This one does all 3 layers of paint and will do all materials, including aluminum, plastics. We'll measure the paint thickness on all those. This is sanding pad for leather, and these are applicator blocks for the sanding pads, part of the steering wheel kit for leather. I still kept the brushes from Color Lock in my drawer, and I have 2 of the Color Lock sanding pads in here for sanding Alcantara. And then this is my leather repair section. So these are tools that come with the Leader Max leather care kit. The products are actually up in that first drawer. I have pipettes and plastic razor blades. My applicators for applying coatings. I still have a bunch of these, I think from Autofiber left over, but generally I use the CarPro suede applicators. Once I run out of those, I'll use that. I've got SAS, the orange Astro Grip gloves. I just emptied out one. I've got the Built Hamburg clay bars, which hopefully we can get back someday. The clay scrubber sponge from the Rag Company. And then I've got my Reach and Clean tool in here for cleaning glass. Charger, Mirka and Nano. The same Mirka charges both. The generic charger for the LE, and then the detail guards hose guide here tucked in the back. Pretty organized, I like that. More pads and a couple of tester products. So I've got the Naziol coatings to play with, and then I have 3-inch, 2-inch, and 1-inch pads. The 2-inch will become more effective with the new Nano because it has more torque, but the same combination of pads. 2 wools, 3 microfibers, 2 foams, and then same thing in the 1-inch and 2-inch size. And then bottom drawer, all I have are my bucket lids. So future expansion capacity there. All right, so this is an 18-inch section here. I have this tool gridded. I got some mechanics gloves here in the top, and then I've got my remotes. And I think that's all I have in this cabinet. Empty empty, empty. Nice, lots of expansion capability. Oh, and then I have my two wire chase tools in the bottom of this drawer, kind of randomly. But I don't use these very often. Shoot, I'm glad I looked at this, because I probably wouldn't have remembered that in my memorization schedule. All right, let's talk about the biggies. Okay, so Wera screwdrivers. The methodology here is I've got 3 different types. I've got standard, strike through, and stainless. All of this amount of screwdrivers is completely unnecessary, but let's just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So I've got 39 straight blade screwdrivers. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 Phillips screwdrivers. The Phillips are PosiDrive, PZ, and PH. And then I have PH1, PH2, PH3, and then I have different lengths. Same thing with the straight blades. You've got the different size of the, the head, and you've got various lengths. So this is what I call the master collection. This also includes the 2 micros. So micros go from pH 000 up to pH something or other, and then I've got all the little micro stuff here in this little thingy. So these guys will connect like so. And so rather than having 50 different micros, I have all the different micro heads, and I have it in a little bin here. So the other thing I have in this drawer, which I think everyone should have 2 or 3 of these, skin wedge tool, which is amazing. I've got my, whatever you call these, hose adjustable hose screwdrivers, hose clamp screwdrivers. And then I've got my bit set from Hazette, and then my other secondary shorty bit set from Hazette. And I find that these, I actually like these better than the tool check bits that are from Wera. So Wera has that in this drawer, tool gridded. All right, next up is Stahlvilla and gear wrench. So let's start on the top left. So the flexi head type Stahlvilla from 8 to 20 millimeters to 22 millimeters. And then bottom left here is the long reach. So the long reach version of a 20-degree offset Stahlvilla. These are called Open Box 14. So that set is my most used set. And then the really small ones I just put in a bin here. So the really small ratcheters and the really small, like down to, this goes down to like 6 millimeters, I keep in this rather than occupying the space, because I can fit a lot more into this little bin. I have gear wrench. This is the 120 XP straight or 0 offset, so 120 ratcheting, and then open end, so combination wrench. And then I have the flexible shorty or stubby, and then I have the fixed stubby in metric, all here. Then we have over here on the right, then I have, let's see, this is so these are the long reach, and then these are the standard. So standard, these are less of an offset. This is number 13 by Stahlvilla. So certainly unnecessary to have these 2, because they both can kind of do the same thing. But I do like having the dual set of combinations, because I got the space, and I really wasn't willing to give up either one. These are awesome, long reach gear wrench with a flexible head, 120 tooth. These are really, really sweet. I like these a lot. I like them more in look than when you use them. They're extremely functional, but I like them more in look than function. You know, they do. I just don't use them as much as I probably would like because they don't fit. But it's nice to have it when you need it. So then I have 2 sets. This is number 12 set from Stahlvilla of an extremely flat or extremely small footprint wrench set, and I have that here in this, you know, sort of little. I won't use these as much, but I have SAE and metric in the same spot, and same thing here. I've got the small little guys from our main set of wrenches going all the way down to I think 3 millimeters. I've got my tweezers here. I'm not sure what my methodology was here. Well, that one goes there, and I think I've got the other set here somewhere. I'm gonna find it. I was using it to put labels on, so we'll find it. I need to get another, I think for these are Hosen, and so I need to grab another set of tool grid tool grids because I just bought that recently. Offset metric, whatever they call these, C-shaped metric. I've got my brake line metric set, combination set, and then my straight combination set, and then my external torques. So, and a little bit of room to expand. These drawers are 440 pound capacity, and with all this weight in them, they still roll super smoothly. All right, next drawer is SAE wrenches, which doesn't occupy an entire drawer. So I've got SAE and adjustable. So the SAE 120 point gear wrench, the long reach, the stubbies in fixed and flex head, standard, because they don't make a long reach SAE set. The flexi head, the brake line, the flexible head ratcheting. I didn't mention I have a flexible head ratcheting as well in that upper drawer metric. Fixed head, I guess it would be tail. Fixed head, 120 tooth, or actually, yeah, these are the 120s, 120 tooth ratcheting in SAE. And then I've got these really cool Iriga adjustable wrenches, and there's really a couple of different types. There's what they call their lightweight type, and I tried to create a complete set, and then they have their comfort grip or ergo grip type, and some of these are wide jawed and narrow jawed, and then you also have some of the tighter fit type jaws, the SWOs that they call them. And so I have a combination all the way up to a 18-inch adjustable wrench. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 adjustable wrenches, which is obviously completely unnecessary. And then my beloved high torque tool. I'll probably take this to HQ, but I don't know, maybe I'll keep one here and there. It's kind of a lot to have 2 of them, so I'd probably just keep this one, and I'll probably take this to HQ because that's where my GT cars are. But this is for precisely removing center locks. Highly recommend if you're a Porsche guy. Next drawer is Knipex and grip-on, diagonal cutters, pliers. I have 2, 3 of them that are out here that we were taking pictures of, so I need to replace those. So needle nose, various sizes, more cutters, lock or thicker metal cutters, a PVC pipe cutter, ear clamp cutters, tool for doing Ethernet punch tool, long reach needle nose, a combination of interesting type of hose hose pliers, larger hose pliers, oil filter remover. You have your, what do you call, snap ring tools, more needle nose or non-needle nose, just normal pliers. Finishing up the diagonal cutters into all the really awesome like alligator grip type hose pliers or hose clamp pliers, regular lineman's pliers. These are a grip-on little, they call it an MG2K, but these are really cool to have to lock something down like as a clamp. And then we have all our clamping pliers. So vice grips, if you will, if you're using a generic name. I've got my two Milwaukee and then Klein wire strippers. Got these really cool lineman type or electrician precision screwdriver scissors from Milwaukee. Regular scissors from Milwaukee. This is a Molex plug remover from Mary. It's a Mary HS175C. Thanks to Jimmy for recommending that to me for removing Molex connectors. I've got my grip-on, continued grip-on, vice grip type pliers, and then these are either pipe cutter, so the two pipe cutters, big and small, and then pipe holder if you're going to cut exhaust. PVC cutter, lock cutter, and then giant set of hose clamp pliers from Knipex. That's an expensive drawer, you might imagine. So this I call my automotive drawer. Two sonic foams. One is awesome. I love having this. It's my item number 602712. I just like how organized it is. You can buy these things way cheaper all over the place, but I love it in sonic foam. If you want to order this, hit us up. This is the Sonic pry tool set, pick tool set, secondary pick tool set, and then the Park Tool magnetic tiny picks are my favorite. And then I've got this little magnet thing here from, I don't remember what brand this is. Starts with an L. There's no brand on it. But it's a really cool flexible head magnet. Dang it. I don't remember the model of that thing. Sorry, can't help you there. This is awesome to have. Noco Boost HD, which is a little jump pack. I've got my BMW threaded thingies. So these actually probably need to go to HQ. Center lock, guide, suspension, spanner wrenches. I got a cheapo Innova 5410 scan tool, and I've got the more expensive Autel scan tool, which is not great, but works. This is a safety seal set, which every man should have, plugging tires. So you should have a safety seal set in your garage. You need to plug a tire. I've got some Porsche jacking pads. Crap, I need to take most of this to HQ. I've got this interesting Motion Pro little magnet thingy, little adjustable magnet. Optimal paste. I've got some Dyna Slip, which is anti-seize. Some R2V or RTV or whatever they call it. Some thread sealant. My special racing tool for my racing studs on my BMW. So yeah, a bunch of this stuff. Dielectric grease, Porsche, oil filter socket, spanner for, this is what I need for the Bronco, exhaust removal, grommet removal. What I may do is just buy another set of all this stuff. BMW jack plates. I've got this goofy little wheel width tool that I saw on Instagram that I bought. Tow hook for Porsche. These are spring compressor Procomon spring compressor, and then some jack pads. So a good percentage of this stuff. These, the BMW jack pads, the racing tool, all that needs to go back to HQ. This is a Division M coil pack puller for my M3 for BMW. These are the jack pads for my jack, the AC hydraulic jack. So a lot of specialty stuff in that drawer. All right, hammer drawer, which has room. I want to put punches here, so that's one of the things I'm missing. So hammers are Oscar and Thor. So you have your Oscar ball peens, your Oscar, I guess, precision, Oscar nylon, the Oscar for, how did that fit before? There we go. My normal working hammers, Oscar pry bars, and then my Thor mallets, plastic mallets, nylon mallets, rubber mallets, which are really awesome to have. So this drawer is pretty cool. And so what we're going to do is develop these tool solutions here. And some of these we have smaller hand tool solutions, but this is what I have here at my house. All right, next set of 60s. So this is the unnecessary screwdriver drawer that I love. So on the left side here, we're ratcheting bit holder type screwdrivers. So these hold bits. What's up, Chase? This is a hammer, the hammer impact type. And I also have a Koken version of the attack driver, they call it. And then so you can put that's for the attack driver, but you can put these hardened type. So if you're trying to break a rusted something or other, you're trying to break that loose, you can with this rusted screw. Ratcheting, so I think this is an extended, I think this one extends out. No, this is a ratcheting style. And then we have our normal handle, normal size handles for bits. And I've got a blue one for stainless, just because I can. So you have the electronic discharge type, the regular one, and the stainless one. And then the little, one for little tiny bits. And then I have all the different kind of combination bits in stainless. So I think these are the 89 millimeter version. And so I have straight, hex. These are the impact version, and Torx impact version, and hex, and SAE hex. And then I have Phillips, Torx, and then we have our stainless version, and then we have our SAE hex and our finishing Torx. And so all of these would go on any of these type of screwdriver handle. I also have various bit holders for my impacts or the screwdriver, ratcheting T-handle. So all of these, instead of having individual T-handles, I have this single T-handle. And then these, I wouldn't recommend anybody buy unless you're an electrician, but my VDE, so the voltage type or non-conducting type. And then I have all the individual little quick release type. And you could have done that with the screwdrivers in general, but I like to have fixed handle screwdrivers for my main use, and then for my luxury use I have the various bits, which I think is a nice combination to have. So I've got Milwaukee pry bars. This is all thread tool stuff from NES. I've got my cat's paws from Milwaukee. And so these are all the thread tools from NES, which are awesome. Over here on the right is all my Allen stuff. And so this here is a thread fix tool. What do you call that? Thread repair kit tool that connects to one of the Wera screwdrivers. So this is a quick release thread chaser tool, or little die cutter tool for the Wera screwdrivers. Toma files, and then these are all 8 hex keys. So I've got shorty, stubby, SAE, metric with a ball head, Torx in various sizes, Torx and safety Torx. Then I have let's see, so these are the locking type, so it'll lock on, has the little pin type that holds on, or nut grip type that holds onto the nut. And then your standard, like these, if you're gonna get any of them, you want this version of the 8 tool. We're gonna have these all in the store at some point. They don't have a long reach Torx, so I have Sonic, and then straight, so non-ball head type, non-ball head short in SAE and metric. And then I have the stubby long, so the stubby and short end of the ball head SAE and metric. And then I have a little tiny set here. So that's my Allens. Oh, I have a tire tread meter gauge, and then I have a analog tire pressure gauge as well, which I very rarely use, but I like to have one just as a backup. All right, now the really, really expensive drawers. All right, so I have a combination of Stahlwelle, Hazat, Wera, and primarily Koken. That's what we have in here. So I've got a Wera T-handle, ratcheting T-handle with an anvil. I've got a precision 1/4 inch. This is a 701/2 Stahlwelle 1/4 inch, very precise torque wrench, which I would use for my bikes. And then I have what my favorite type of Stahlwelle torque wrench is, the 730N/ whatever the size is. This is a /2. And so this Stahlwelle is I think the best. The N series is you adjust from turning the knob, and so it's a pull-out knob. They have like quick release types. The N series is with the pull-out adjustable handle is my favorite. There is no need to return this to any position because you would never lose accuracy on this the way that they design these. So then I have Wera Zyklop, the adjustable head ratchet, 1/4 inch, so 1/4 inch long reach, straight and flexible head, 1/4 inch normal size, straight, flexible, and breaker bar. I've got the little Wera, little baby tiny guy as well, and then the little Wera. This is designed to be used if you needed if it was a really tight area where you can get in and do tight work with a ratchet and socket. That goes from 4 millimeters to 13. These are awesome. So this is the Z series Koken, super shallow depth, which is nice to have. And so I'm always doing Z series Koken if it exists, or then regular series Koken. So I have Z series, like short bodied or narrow bodied. Then I have regular, and then I have medium, and then I have deep well. And so those are 6-point. And then I have regular and deep well 12-point. And then I have SAEs. And then I have the adjustable universal head type. And then here I've got all my different various heads for universal type heads, anvil adjustment type tools. These are for 1/4 inch, so you can quick. Actually, this is 3/8. So you can do finger tightening and loosening. I like having those. Same thing over here on the far side is where I have all that same kind of thing. So what I have is my specialty adapters on the left, then ratchets, then sockets. And then I have my extensions on the back. And then these titanium coated are from Hazette. So I have hex, or Allen type, Torx type, straight, and Phillips. My external Torx is here. And so I have a full set of 1/4-inch stuff, and then I have a full set of 1/4-inch heads, which I would never recommend anybody buy because it's an insane amount of money. But these heads go on our torque wrench, right? So you can have the normal anvil ratchet, or you can put on either the box end or open end version. And I have these in SAE and metric. But again, I wouldn't recommend that you go there because that's a lot of money. Like probably $10,000 worth of heads. Each one of those is like $70, $80 to $150. I didn't know that when I was ordering all the tools, so I wouldn't recommend it. Now we have more options on the 3/8 side of ratchets. So we have fixed, flexible from Koken. I like all the push button version, not the quick release, but the push button is my favorite. And then these are awesome. You have a long reach 3/8 anvil on a 1/4-inch head, which is really useful, and a flexible and fixed head. I have the same thing in a normal standard length. I have the little shorties. So these are all Z series. These are non-Z series. But I got the little shorty guys here, stubbies, in flexible and fixed. Then I have a reasonable size breaker bar in 3/8. I think that might be the biggest. Yeah, so I have standard and long reach breaker bar, I should say. Long reach, flexible, and fixed head. I forget what they call this thing, but I find this thing to be useful. So this is a little like turns your ratchet into a screwdriver essentially. Fixed, not ratcheting. The Zyklop head in 3/8. Then my combination of extensions, including flexible extensions, Wera locking extensions. I've got locking extensions from Koken as well. But this is my master collection of narrowed down tools. Then you have Z series, standard, mid, deep well, 6-point. There is no Z series 12-point, but 12-point standard, 12-point mid-size or mid-depth, 12-point deep well. And then I have my external Torx and my universal joints here on the right. And because I have more 3/8, I had to carry, I kind of read this like a book from left to right. And so I have more 3/8, and then this transitions into 1/2-inch. I couldn't decide how to do that. I kind of wanted to put all the 3/8 in one drawer and all the 1/4-inch in one drawer, but because I have these 60-inch, I decided to do a little bit differently and set it up kind of like a book. And so we have on the right side here, you've got SAE, and then your Torx triple square, PH, straight, hex, nut grip type hex from Koken, long reach ball hex from Hazette, and then I've got my spark plug tools to round out the 3/8 set. So that finishes the 3/8. Then we get into all of our specialty heads. Specialty heads and adapters for our 1/2-inch stuff. 1/2-inch has that extension. This is a 916 HPL LG, but this is my long reach breaker bar thingy, ratcheting breaker bar, I guess you could say. And then I have the same thing, a double-handled long reach from Wera, and then an ultra long reach flexible head from Hazette. My 730N, this is probably my most used torque wrench, 730N/20. This is a 30 to 150 foot-pound, very precise Stahlvilla torque wrench. My adjustable, so this is a flexible but fixed long reach head from a fixable flexible, so you can fix the head from Stahlvilla. And I believe this is an 80 tooth. Really nice ratchet. Because my Koken company only makes one ratchet, which is a 72 tooth. They only make one ratchet for 1/2 inch. And breaker bar, large breaker bar over here, all of my extensions, and then I have 2 large rounding out my Stahlvilla torque wrench set, the /40 and the /65. And then all of the large 1/2 inch size heads and adapters for the torque wrenches. My favorite tool, removal impact tools from Koken, so you want that set. And then I've also got, so for some narrow or tighter areas or deep pocket wheels, I've got some other combination tools which could be used to, so these are thin-walled, tighter combination tools in order to be able to get into deeper pocketed or narrow pocketed wheels that don't have as much room to get the lug off when you can't fit those. I had that on the method wheels of the Raptor here recently. I needed to use those tools. All right, finishing up 1/2 inch. So this is 1/2 inch and then thread removal tools on the left, or sorry, the right. So we have Z-Series standard deep weld. There's no mid depth in the 1/2 inch. 12 point, so 6 point, 12 point, then SAE, external torques, hex, torques, triple square, ball head, straight hex, but long reach. And then those are all thread removal tools. So that's a thread removal tool set or stud removal tool set from Koken, which is really nice. Probably use it very rarely, but really nice. Okay. This is my impact drawer. So these are all from Gear Wrench. So 1/4 inch impact, 3/8 inch impact, standard and deep. 1/2 inch impact, and I stopped at I think I went up to 32 1.5 inches, and what size did I go up to? 36. Here is a Gear Wrench. I like this one the best, but this is a thread tool kit, which is nice to have. So for doing stripped out threads, I also have the NES stuff, which I can do as well. My cycling blue book of Park Tool from Park Tool Repair. That's a heavy drawer. And then my Park Tool extravaganza here. I'm not going to go through this drawer because I have the tools I have to look up. I got everything to build a bike, and I'm going to build a bike here soon. I want to build a hardtail from scratch, which I've never done. I've always just done little things. So I'm going to talk Nathan into coming over here and teaching me how to do it. So there's my Park Tool full set, just freaking sweet. Everything I need for my bikes. So my Milwaukee Matt Mormon Master Collection bit set, which I had to give up on, so I can't sell this to you anymore. But this was awesome, at least an awesome idea. And so I have Phillips and a few in straights. I have Torx, hex, Torx. We've got square and whatever these things are called, pilot hole drillers, thread chaser, thread repair set. What do you call these things? It's a drill bit that, I forget what it's called, but these things are freaking sweet. Mike taught me about those things. Insert bits, extensions, step bits. Obviously I can grab all these. They're all labeled too. So they all have a, I did like a little Dymo label on them. So I have SAE and metric, and then wood boring bits. Down here I get into concrete. So I have longer, short, medium, ultra long concrete bits. None of these are SDS Plus, so I need to get those for my SDS drill. Grinder stuff, so cut off wheels and grinder. Oh shoot, you probably couldn't see that. Could you see that? Yeah, you could see that. I'll come down now. This is multi-tool bit set in a pack out, and some brake fluid for my bikes. This is lubricants for bikes, my saw blades, so my circular saw blades, and then these are all of a full set of jigsaw blades, and then software tools for BMW, OBD tool, and then the finishing up of my bike stuff. So the finishing up of park tool, bike accessories, brake rebuild kit, and all that kind of stuff. So this is the home related repair stuff. So mask, goggles, pipe reamer, X-Actos, razor blade. I've got a paint scraper. I need to get another one here. I lost it, or I broke it. Extra blades for my razor blades, extra X-Acto blades. The Milwaukee, I forget which one this is. This is the 363 plane laser. This is the 3632-20. It's my laser level. My Dymo Rhino 5200 for making labels. And then extra, what do I do with the extra labels? Oh, extra labels are back here. It's a replacement, a cartridge. I like these DeWalt, what do you call them? Spackle thingies. Wooden measure, chalk line, 100-foot tape, 40, 35, 30, 25, 16-foot tape measures. What do you call that thing? The a measuring tape, I guess that's what you would call it. Stud buddy here for finding studs, a zircon stud finder, a SPL meter, an ammeter with the ammeter leads and a little thingy, a couple of safety goggles as well from Milwaukee. I've got my my Cat 5, Cat 6 tools, and then a digital tape measure. Next drawer is empty. It's always a good thing. Capacity in the future, already tool gridded. Next drawer is empty. Capacity in the future. Next drawer is empty. Capacity in the future, which is great. And then I've got hole saws, wood augers, Sawzall blades. Nice and organized, pretty sick. And then these have the anti-slip drawer liners from Tool Grid, so I don't even need to tool grid that. All right, upper cabinets. So upper number 1, lots of room. So stands, what you call it? Tire sealant for my tubeless tires, lube, petroleum jelly. I have chain and then chain lubricants, cutting fluid and chain lubricant. And then this is where my charging station for Milwaukee is. So I charge my various lights. So I keep the Scan Grip 2 utility lights and the Sun Match 4, the color match. So, and then I have the 2 line lights in here as well. So I like to keep the line lights. My thing is not sticking very well here, so I need to fix this. I need to put a screw in and have it mounted with the screw because the VHP is not sticking. Extra batteries and the rapid charger. Oh, and then my bike, my SRAM Access charger in the corner there. So this is double-sided. So on the first side, I've got, I bought the Stabila, I think it's a 5 or 6 level set. So 32, 24, 16. That doesn't line up properly. I didn't realize that. I need to flip these over. Like this. I'm probably going to tool grid this because this isn't ideal. I don't like how this is functioning. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, that's the only one that's on there. Yeah, so 32, 24, 16, 10, and then I have an 8-inch Milwaukee. And then I've got my pipe cutter from Milwaukee, drywall, Sawzall blade, hand hold. Got my squares here, saws, metal saws, tool to remove the, the Milwaukee tool for the grinder. And on the back side of this, I have, it's gonna be a little darker. This is the touch-up for Russo cabinets if I needed it. I've got some isopropyl alcohol, fuel stabilizer, some JB Weld, multi-purpose grease, heavy-duty grease, some cutting fluid. I've got thread locker, some black caliper paint. Then I keep this pretty well organized. Brake cleaner, some more JB Weld, heavy-duty degreaser, spray grease, and then these are all, lubricant, silicone lubricant, PB Blast, the various versions of WD-40, Super WD-40 from Ferrosol from Built Hamber. So I have the dry lube and then the regular WD-40, mineral spirits in the corner here, and then another JB Weld, and then the phosphoric acid stuff that we sell. What is that called? With quadruple aught steel wool. OSFO, that's what it's called. This has just towels. I'm gonna figure something out, some sort of towel rack. So I got ripping rags in here. I need to bring some smaller ripping rags. I ran out. And then shop towels. But I've got some dividers that I ordered for this. I use them all in the other drawers. Same thing here. Oh, this needs to go to HQ. This is for my RS. I've got some more red and tacky grease. These are extra hose and vacuum hose, microfiber covers, and then I've got an extra vacuum. So my vacuum accessories, which I just finished. This needs to go to HQ. That's for my GT4. And then my air accessories in vertical tool grid. Last couple of drawers. Top drawer is largely empty. So top drawer has a C-Tech charger, a Viper knee pad. This is an adapter for the new Mirka vacuum to do dual hoses. I've got tie downs, so max tie downs. These are for the pegboard and the R2Vs. And then I've got some extra tool grid boards. So room for expansion. You'll love this cabinet. So this is all Milwaukee. So I have pretty much every Milwaukee tool all in one drawer. The impacts, various sizes, heat gun, SDS, 1/4 inch, jigsaw, grinder, cutoff wheel, sawzall, multi-tool, sawzall, tree trimmer, D-handle, circular saw, ratchets, so the ratchets, and solder. And then the very last drawer has all of my stuff for, so this is the quick jack drawer, so the quick jack pump, quick jack hoses, quick jack pads, Milwaukee tire inflator, and then tool grid stuff for doing tool grid in the future. And then our new wand holder, which I need to put up. All right, so that's my entire 24-foot cabinet array. I don't know how many linear feet of storage that is, but it is a lot. I like drawers rather than cabinets. I'm loving having, or open cabinets, I'm loving having that R2V stuff. You can see how useful that is. But that's a tour of everything in the cabinets. Clearly I have some room for expansion. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 18-inch drawers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 4 36-inch drawers that are empty. I've got one of the 48-inch drawer that's largely empty, and then probably a combination of another 3 or 4 drawers with the empty space. Lots of empty space in the uppers. I could tighten things up if I needed to, so lots of expansion. I want to get center punches. I want to get vernier calipers. Those are the 2 things I can think of off the top of my head that I'd like to complete. But not much more I need to add that I can think of, but I do have the capacity and room to play with it. So hope that helps you as you're building your array, building your setup. And I'm sure many of you are complaining about you're not going to use all this. I mean, I'll use most of it, not every day, but most of the stuff I'll use here, and then I'll build a secondary set at HQ. So I've been talking about making this video for a while, so hope that's useful, and we'll see you soon. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. This setup is ridiculous, I get it, but it makes me happy. Thanks for watching.